Greetings, fellow seekers, and welcome to the Divine Alchemy channel. I'm your host, the Divine Alchemist. Join me today as we delve deeper into the great work, into our own minds, into the great powerhouse that is situated in between our ears. Did you know that your mind is capable of bending reality according to your will? If not, stay tuned to find out how. "I will pray for you" is a thing many people say to each other. But what if prayer actually did help you heal and recover faster? Studies show that people who are being prayed for or who pray for themselves have a much higher chance of recovery with very severe illnesses. So pray for each other. Send out some good vibes to each other. It has some effect. Another very interesting effect is the well-known placebo effect, where everybody knows that if you take a sugar pill in an experiment and compare it to a real medicine, that people who think that they are taking the real medicine actually get the same benefits as the ones who actually take the real medicine. Isn't that fascinating? Isn't it fascinating that the mere belief of you being healed causes your body to heal? If this is not the best evidence for mind over matter, then what more do you need? Really. Another very interesting thing for you conspiracy nuts out there, believe me, I was one for the entirety of my teenage years, is the CIA's Stargate Project. Declassified documents showcase that the CIA used people who were self-proclaimed psychics and did experiments on them during the Cold War, during the 70s, 80s, up until the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. They did experiments on people, putting them down into basements in Nevada and asking them, okay, if you are a psychic and are able to astral project and go outside of your body with your mind or soul or spirit or whatever, please go to Russia and take a look at, find us some secret bases that we do not have any information about, and then draw it for us. Show us how it looks. These declassified documents showcase that these people were able to find military bases in Russia on the other side of the world without leaving the bunker, without TikTok or social media or having any knowledge about this. Not even the military had knowledge about this. And several years later, it was confirmed. They somehow, through their mind, were able to travel to the other side of the world and observe other places, either through some global consciousness, Akashic fields, I do not know. But isn't that interesting? If we look at quantum physics, there's a very interesting phenomena called the observer effect. This observer effect can be seen in the double slit experiment, where they took small particles, observed them, took pictures of them, and then compared them to pictures taken with a human mind observing this experiment. Do you know what they found out? That the universe reacts according to our minds. That is, if somebody is looking at the experiment taking place, the particles are reacting differently than if there's only a camera taking the picture. Isn't that interesting? We can agree that our minds are very powerful, right? But how can we use our minds for something positive? Because if you've ever gone through depression, anxiety, just a negative part of your life, you know how big of a burden your mind can be as well to walk around with. As the late Robin Williams said, to be inside of his mind is the worst place you can be. Our minds are very complex, that's right, but also very simple. What you put into your mind is what you get out of your mind. Music, movies, games, books, people you hang around with, your upbringing, childhood traumas, they all affect your mind and your well-being. If you don't believe me, why do you think that Colgate pays $50 million for a couple of seconds on a TV commercial if it doesn't work? How could a couple of seconds of a toothpaste commercial make you go and buy that same toothpaste instead of buying another brand? But at the same time, you don't think that listening 8 hours to death metal music has an impact on you, or hanging out with a very overly negative, complaining person affects your well-being as well. Don't fool yourself. You are in control of your mind. You need to guard the gates of your mind, because that's the only way that you can reprogram your mind. So while we're at it, let me give you a very simple but very powerful exercise for you to try out. I promise you, if you give it 2 to 3 weeks, and every single time you forget about it, you bring yourself back and try it out, you will see you'll become more positive, less negative, and more in control of your mind. I promise you. Come back in 2 to 3 weeks and put a comment down and tell me that I'm right, okay? Every single time that a negative, obstructive, or just like a lazy thought comes to your mind, you say to yourself, either loud or inside of your head, I deny, reject, and banish that thought. Every single time a positive thought comes into your mind, you say, I accept that thought. And watch how your life will turn around. This exercise helped me a lot. I hope it helps you as well. That will be everything for today, my dear seekers. Welcome back next week as we delve even deeper into the great work. Blessings to you all. Take care.